Hi guys, it's Carrie Ann from Everything Mom, and it's confession time. My father and I have not been close for a long time. It's kind of an estranged relationship. So I was surprised when I received a note from an estate administrator about my father's passing. I sort of expected someone would get in touch with me when it happened to say this has happened, this is the funeral, and these are arrangements in case you want to come out. But there was none of that. It was just sort of this letter, and the letter, it's almost like you see in those movies where somebody gets a note about the passing of a distant relative, a relative that they didn't even know they had, has passed away, and that's kind of how this felt. It felt very detached and separated, and not something I expected from the fact that it was my father. Now I realized he had this whole other life, and maybe whoever he was involved with didn't know about this past. That could be the case, I don't know. At first, when I read the note and I told my kids who have never met their grandfather, my father, I was thinking, shouldn't be so much bothered by it. Even when I was telling my kids, I was sort of telling them in casual conversation, and it was just very, matter of fact. But I found myself being upset about that, and was sort of surprised. They say blood is thicker than water. Remember that, that expression. That because we don't have an everyday connection, there is this sense that it's family. And ultimately, no matter how disconnected you are with your family, I think in the back of your head, certainly in the back of my head, it's still family. And it's immediate family, like it's family I knew. I don't know if that's really a confession. It really is sort of this thought that we like to feel. Sometimes we distance ourselves from family that doesn't necessarily agree with how we feel, based on a fight, a difference of opinion. I'm just curious if anybody else has encountered that, surprised by news from someone else in your life that had you react differently than you were expecting. Like, had you angry or happy or sadder than you sort of expected you would be based on the relationship you had with those people. So that's my confession for this week. Don't forget, if you so desire, for more 3-minute confessions, a little bit of family travel, or just some silly family fun, feel free to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Ciao.